I just wanted to address something really quick. As we know that on June 24th, 2022, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and uh, I really just want to say that the Job Hunt LLC does not stand with that decision whatsoever, and we believe in women's rights, and we believe that women should have the right to their own bodies, and we do not stand with the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Besides that, we don't get political on this channel. We don't talk about controversial things. We don't talk about politics. We like to keep it very much so artist interview friendly. In the last interview, we hired Rozo Toddy. We immediately upgraded him to our head of accounting position, and he's doing great. I mean, we've made $2 in the last week, and man, let me say something about $2. $2 is a lot when you're first starting a company, and we try to pay our staff as well as we possibly can, and with $2, we can pay our staff quite a bit, right? So now we're ready to hire someone else, and we're actually interviewing someone very special today. I'm here with Dean again. Dean?
Again, I'm back.
No, his name this time is actually Dean again. Get a load of this guy. And I had to get my mustache ready. I had to get the glasses on for our guest, Tireek. Tireek?
Hey, what's up?
How are you doing, Mr. Tireek?
I'm doing well today. I feel good.
Today?
Yeah, just today.
Oh.
I feel good.
Well, that's good, because you're going to want to feel good and refreshed for the interview. And now, before we start anything too spectacular, I just wanted to say, I have this jacket on, but underneath, I am a true supporter of Tireek and Tireek's music. As you can see, I have the limited edition Tireek t-shirt on. Tireek, what do you think?
Dude, you just made my day even better.
Thank
you
God.
so much.
Thank
that was
God.
Beautiful. That
Good
was
execution,
so
I hope.
Yeah.
Right out of the dryer.
Right out of the dryer. No, I didn't even get to dry this shirt all the way through. I started drying it like 30 minutes ago, and I was like, all right, well, whatever it's at 30 minutes, we're just going to fucking wear it.
Wet spots and all.
Yeah, I'm
still
cool.
rocking.
But I got to do anything for the Tireek merch.
So that being said, would you recommend the Tireek joggers or the 90s baby pullover hoodie? I don't know which one to pick. I gotta know.
Me personally, I'll go with the joggers. I'm a huge jogger.
The joggers. That sounds like a solid choice.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with a nice pair of joggers.
You really can't.
You can wear them anytime, anywhere.
Right.
Really fine.
I'm a huge joggers guy personally. Have either one of you been to a Shields before? So it's like Bass Pro, but better. And
I've never been to Bass Pro.
You've never been to Bass Pro?
No.
Dean, you know what we're gonna do after this interview?
I want one of those hats though. All those hats that
those
people
Bass
wear.
Pro hats, they're so hard. I love those Bass Pro hats so much. Yeah, my brother got me
planet without one.
Right. No, exactly. You're not allowed to walk in Tempe, Arizona without a Bass Pro hat.
As soon as you come to Tempe, they're like, "Yo, where's your Bass Pro hat, bro?"
Yo, where the fuck is your Bass Pro hat?
Man, I got beat up because I didn't have my Bass Pro hat, man.
This guy has the pink Bass Pro hat on. Get a load of this guy. All right. Well, enough of the non-job interview questions. Dean, would you like to start us off today?
Alrighty, Tireek, first things first, you got to tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit. Where should I start?
Wherever your heart desires.
Okay. This is a rough question. Talking about myself is kind of difficult. But I guess to start, as you know, my name is Tireek. Originally, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was born and raised there. Love it out there. I'm actually moving back there soon. But came to Arizona for school, went to ASU for 4 years, graduated in 2021, and got my degree in film and media production. I'm a very visual person. I always love like film and visual storytelling. That's why I love music videos and everything like that. But I also love music as well. So, you know, both of those kind of go hand in hand. I'm just a very visual and creative person. That's always been me. Actually, yeah, it's funny. I remember when I was little, I used to draw a lot, and there were a lot of action figures that I wanted, but I could never get them because my mother never wanted to take me to like Toys R Us or whatever the fuck. So I used to like draw the action figures and then cut them out and had like paper action figures.
That's crazy.
That's a little about me.
So are you still like a good artist right now? I mean, like drawing wise.
I could hold my own. Not as good as I used to be because I haven't done it in like years, but I could definitely still hold my own, I think. I'm very good at tracing.
There you go. I love coloring in the lines, but unfortunately, my hands shake. I'm not drawing shit. I'm not drawing anything. Let's be honest. But
yeah, you know, the best artists push boundaries. It's all about coloring outside of the lines, actually.
And we've seen that with your own music, right? Tireek has done some incredible things with his music. And that's kind of what I was gonna get into. I really want you to like briefly get on this one moment, this one special moment for the both of us, right? Your show at 6th Street Park, the Juneteenth show. It was a year ago. That was my first-hand experience with Tireek. Tell us about that.
Damn, that was a year ago, huh? Where's the time go? So yeah, the Juneteenth show, it was cool. It was kind of like a last minute thing, meaning like I was told about it last minute, and I wasn't sure what it was gonna be like. I was actually kind of nervous, because I hadn't like performed in a while up until that point, but it was fun. It was like cool people. They had like drinks, and that was the first time I met Prime Society too.
Oh, really?
They performed that night. Yeah. It was a cool little vibe. It was very like low key, very intimate, and I got to perform more of my like conscious songs because I have like different kinds of songs. I have my more like conscious and like deeper songs, and then I have like my fun kind of party type of songs, and like those still are kind of conscious in a way because I always like to try and make music with a message, even if it does sound, you know, fun.
Of course.
But yeah, it was cool. I got to meet a lot of people. Yeah, I just had a good time. And then we met, and you heard "Let It Go." I remember you telling me, you're like, "Yo, let it go." That shit was crazy.
No, I can't like begin to describe how like existential that moment was for me. Because personally, I'm like my biggest like the music I listen to the most is kind of like house and like dance type music. And so I went to the show and I was like, well, I came to see Rose Otadi. That was my original thing because I hadn't like heard of you yet. But I was like, all right, we got here early and here's Tireek, let's listen. And you played one song, I was like, that was a good song. Wow. And then you played another song, I was like, that was a great song. Wow, I really like this Tireek guy. And then you put on fucking Let It Go, and I don't know, did you just expect me to fucking sit there? I was turned listening to that song. I was so lit listening to that song. That is still, after the 90s Baby drop, after the Crookland drop, Let It Go is my favorite fucking song that you've ever made.
Dude, thank you so much. I think that's one of my favorite songs too, just because, so I remember when I made that song, I was listening to Gold Link heavy. Have you ever listened to Gold Link?
Right, yes.
Gold Link,
Oh, yeah.
one of my favorite artists, definitely influential, especially at that point in time. So I was like trying to make something like he would make, but still making my own at the same time. And I don't know, it was fun to make, and it's still fun to perform. And I really appreciate you for saying that and for being there, because part of the reason I was nervous is because no one there really knew me besides my girlfriend and my roommate that came to support me. So right. I was like, yo, what if nobody likes me? And then like after the show, you're like, yo, Let It Go. That was fire.
I was like, I'm going to sign you. I'm going to sign you to my record label.
Let's do it. Show me where to sign.
So, I was really like, I was wanting to ask, you said one of your biggest inspirations with like that era of music was Goldlink. Did you have any other inspirations?
Ooh, so many. It's kind of funny because I could like pretty much define different eras of my life by like the music I was listening to.
Right.
So it really depends on like which point in my life you're talking about. But I guess if I had to say overall, like definitely Kendrick Lamar, one of the biggest influences on my music. Andre 3000 and like Outkast, J. Cole, of course, Smino. Smino was a big influence on me. Dude, I could go on. I'm trying to think. Tyler the Creator, Gold Link, like I said, freaking yeah, a bunch of different people. But I would say like, oh, Jay-Z. But I would say like my biggest influence is probably Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
Love him.
What do you
He
think
can
of that
do
new
no wrong in
Kendrick
my eyes.
album?
Oh, good question. What did you think of that new Kendrick album?
Well, listen, I could talk for an hour. If you want me to talk for an hour, I literally will. I thought it was a perfect album. If you ask me, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was like a 10 out of 10, just because I feel like it was the perfect culmination of everything that came before. Like Kendrick always approaches topics from like a unique perspective, and he always has like, you know, deep messages in his music. But here, in this album, he's like, I mean, he was a grown man always, but like here, he really is a grown man. Like he's learned a lot in life. He's made mistakes. And like this album is him realizing like who he is and what he needs to do, like not only for himself, but for his family. He needs to heal. He needs to grow. And it's like earlier in his career, you know, everybody put Kendrick on such a high pedestal, even me. Like he's viewed as like a rap savior, rap god. Everybody put him on this like super high pedestal. And you can even tell listening to some of his music, he sort of believed it himself as well, saying like, "Oh, I'm the king of this. I'm a god," this type of thing.
Yeah.
But like in this album, he like sort of humbles himself, and he literally said it on the album. He's like, "I'm not your savior. I'm not a god. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm human. I am me." And he's like, "I can't be this for you." And like in the last track on the album, he's like, "I choose me." He's like, "I'm sorry." And he's like, he shouldn't even have to apologize. Like he's choosing himself. He's choosing his family. He's choosing like love, health. And you know, I just thought it was a beautiful project. You know, there have been artists who've been able to get so vulnerable and open and honest on albums before, but like I don't think anybody has really been able to do it on the level that Kendrick has with this project. Just like the things that he's admitted to, like, you know, sex addiction, his generational trauma, toxic love and relationships, like just different things. Like, I don't know, he's just different. And I don't really think anybody can really do it the way Kendrick does, you know. And it's very conscious, it's very soulful, but like it's very like accessible at the same time, meaning like he can make the club bangers, like the party hits, like the songs that you could vibe to and like throw on the aux, but like he never sacrifices the message. And that's what I love about it.
And that was
great project. Great project.
That's an amazing take, because one of the first things that I noticed when I listened to it for the first time when I was driving to LA from here in June. I was like, let's put it on. And I listened, and my take was very similar to yours. At first, I kind of didn't like the album, right? It's not like I wasn't used to it, but now one of my favorite
not gonna
albums.
Lie. I'm not gonna lie. I won't say I didn't like it at first, but it definitely grew on me.
Right.
Like when I first listened to it, I was like, it's not his best, but it's not bad. But like upon like sitting with it for a little bit and then listening again, masterpiece.
Exactly. And like my thing with it was like, you can be famous, right? You can be like a Blueface type famous. You could be like a Trippie Redd type famous, but Kendrick Lamar isn't famous. He's like on a different like societal hierarchy, and it just everyone knows this guy, and like the unfortunate situation is like when you're in this game with like rap music, you have to like it's like a thing where like your fans like want you to look tough, and he's so like high up with like popularity and like people knowing him that him being able to do that, like on songs like Auntie Diaries, for example, on Savior.
Crazy. Dude, he said
It's
this.
bold.
Have you ever listened to the Mask Off remix with Future?
Yes, but I
Yep,
didn't
yep.
digest the lyrics.
There's a line in Kendrick's verse where he's like, "How y'all let a conscious nigga go commercial while only making conscious albums?" And that's why I love Kendrick, because he's a conscious rapper. He's very lyrical. He's very deep, but he's still one of the biggest artists in the world.
Exactly.
And like he's just proof that you don't have to like sacrifice and like dumb down your sound or water it down to like just give people what they want to get in order to be popular.
Exactly.
Right. And I know what you just said just reminded me of that, like the way that he's able to be one of the biggest artists in the world while making the type of music that he makes. This man hasn't dropped an album in 5 years, and then he announces his new album and the whole world just kind of stops. Yeah. Well, I don't know about the whole world, but like the hip hop community, everything just kind of stops. They're like, Kendrick is back.
You don't drop when Kendrick drops.
Exactly.
It's illegal.
That's what I call like, I don't know, that he, like you said, he's just on another plane. He's on another.
It's like I feel like he doesn't feed his audience, like you were saying. You don't feed your audience. You throw out the food, and whoever wants that food eats the food. But he's so good at like giving everyone what they want. He does it in a way where it's like almost accidental. So my question is like, would you like how do you like make your music in that sense? Do you try to like give it to like a target audience, or do you just like put out whatever and like find the right people?
That's another tough question, because it's definitely something that I struggle with, something that I battle with, just finding that balance of like giving people what they want and like what they not what they need. I guess it's about trying to find a balance of like what I want and then what other people want at the same time. Because like at the end of the day, I want to make music that's true to me. I want to make music that's honest. Like I don't want to fake or like lie about my life or like who I am. Like if I make a song, it's gonna be me, basically. It's gonna come from a real place, from my experiences or the experiences of those close to me. But at the same time, I want people to like, when they consume it, I want them to enjoy it. So it's like finding that balance of, like Kendrick does, not sacrificing the message and like still being true to yourself, but also making it like fun and accessible to everybody.
Right. And there are a lot of artists, like I know a couple personally, that they sit in the studio and just crank out music. Like they just make music and music and music, but they'll never release any of it for that reason. It's like they don't know if like their fan base is gonna like it. It's like one of the biggest anxieties in any genre of music. It's like, I don't know if my fans are gonna like it, so like why do I want to release it unless I'm like really, really sure that this is perfect for my target audience?
You just gotta take chances. You gotta trust your audience. You gotta have like faith in them. And that goes with anything. Like one of my favorite films is The Godfather, right?
Right.
What is
great movie.
Almost universally considered one of the greatest films of all time, right?
It's perfect.
I actually watched it last night.
Perfect movie.
Yeah, absolutely. So when they were making that movie, nobody had faith in it. Everybody thought it was going to be a failure. Nobody liked Al Pacino as the lead actor and everything like that. And, at that point in time, gangster movies, mobster movies were not popular. Anytime they made one, it didn't do well. So like pretty much nobody had faith in it. But everybody that was working on the movie, the crew, the actors, everybody, they all had faith in the movie and they still continued to make it. Besides everybody, telling them no and, trying to get them to change it or whatever. What happens? Movie comes out, breaks records, considered one of the greatest movies of all time.
Right.
It's nominated for multiple awards, and now after that, you see a whole bunch of gangster films being made, Goodfellas, what's it, A Bronx Tale, all the different gangster movies that came out after that. and it's considered like a significant movie, you know, in the culture, cinema, and everything like that. Reason I bring that up is because, like I said, you gotta have faith in what you're doing and what you're creating, and then you gotta have faith in your audience as well. You know, some people aren't gonna get it, some people aren't gonna understand it. There were people that didn't like To Pimp a Butterfly when it first came out, people that didn't like Damn, people that definitely didn't like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, but eventually it found its audience and it grew on a lot of people, you know. And what I admire about people like Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, Tyler, the Creator, whatever, they built their fan base with a specific sound. You know, there was something that drew people to them originally, but they weren't afraid of diverging from what made them blow up in the beginning. If you look at Tyler's albums, fucking, what was his first? Was it Wolf? Was Wolf his first project?
I think it was
No,
Goblin.
it was
Goblin.
Or Bastard, yeah.
Goblin. Okay. You look at Goblin, and then look at Call Me If You Get Lost. Completely different albums, completely different sounds, everything.
Right.
I mean, you could hear samples of like where he was going in his earlier work, but like complete evolution, you know, from where he started to where he is now.
Oh yeah,
he definitely
huge
grew and
evolution.
changed over time.
Right.
Exactly. People love him, you know, people took it in, and now he's, you know, one of the biggest artists in the world.
What's your favorite Tyler album?
Never, personally, for me, it was Call Me If You Get Lost.
Great
before that, I would have said Flower Boy. I mean, I love Igor too, but before that, I would have said Flower Boy. But Call Me If You Get Lost, I feel like that's Tyler at his best.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was just like you could see like the maturity in that album, and that's the one thing I love about Tyler's music is like his evolution from his work like Bastard and Goblin, and how it was like very just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill this, I'm gonna fucking do this, and fuck shit, fuck. And it turned into like a beautiful work of art, like Call Me If You Get Lost. It's like every time Tyler the Creator is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop a new album, I'm like, great, I'm gonna listen to something I've probably never heard before, you know? Because he's like a genre changer.
It always makes me laugh, the people that try and come back with old Tyler lyrics and cancel him.
It doesn't work. You can't get canceled if you don't give a fuck.
But then, like, going back to what you said earlier about like how hip hop used to be perceived, like I would attribute the change in like the view on hip hop to Kanye West all the way. Because like before Kanye really blew up, like hip hop, it was definitely like you had to be hard, you had to be a gangster, you had to have a certain type of image and sound. Then Kanye comes around and like his music is not about selling drugs or violence or anything like that. Like he has music about like his mother growing up in Chicago, his insecurities, this, that, the other.
Right.
He's singing, he's doing this, he's doing that. And it completely changed the view of like what hip hop could be and what a rapper could be. And now I think because of Kanye, music now is definitely like genreless. Like you can't put any artist into one box, because like I feel like any artist is capable of surprising you at any moment. And I would definitely attribute that to Kanye. Like every single album is different from the last, and like he was really he didn't give a fuck what anybody thought. He was gonna put it out. If you liked it, you liked it. If you didn't, you didn't. Oh well. This is Kanye.
Boom! You hit it on the spot. It's exactly that. I listen to a lot of artists now, and I can kind of like see that now. I listen to artists and I'm like, like Fred again, Dean. I've been listening to Fred again. Like my life depends on it lately, and I'm like, I want to make music like this, and I'm still learning like as a producer, and so I'm like, what genre is this? So I always look it up, and like a lot of artists I listen to, I look it up. I'm like, what genre is this? And Google never gives me an exact answer. Like you can never find an exact answer. I'm like, oh well, I'm just gonna have to listen to it and like try to make something similar. But damn, like I
just can't place it in a box nowadays.
Exactly. Speaking of genreless albums, 90s baby. Talk about a fucking work of art, right, dude?
Bro, I was literally listening to it today.
like
Like my
What'd you
favorite song
think?
is Sunny Days, 100%.
Sunny Days is a banger. I mean, they're all bangers, but Sunny Days is just so fire. It's so good.
Dude, thank you so much.
My favorite is 100. I really like the power in that song. 100, if I'm interpreting that right.
Thank you.
So like,
No, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
so I have a question, right? Like, I asked Toddy the same question, and he was like, "It depends." But what's your favorite song off that album? Objectively, like you were making the song and you were like, "Yep, this is the one." Like, what song is that off 90s Baby for you?
Ah,
It's a tough
It
question.
depends. It depends. No, I'm kidding.
it really is a tough question because they're like all like your children, you know.
Right.
You can't say you love one child more than the other. But if I had to choose one, maybe work.
Work is
I'd say work.
also phenomenal. I really like that song. Well, what makes that the song for you though?
I guess just the story behind it, how it came to be. Because so we recorded work in the summer of 2020, I want to say.
Okay.
Summer of 2020. I was off of school and I went back home to New York for summer vacation. And Sonia, who was on the track, she's in another band called The Uncertain. And they're a rock band, like a pop rock, I guess you would say.
Okay.
So she had never done any like hip hop, R&B type of stuff before ever. So I was like, I'm here,
Really?
you're here. Like our friend had a studio set up and we were like, let's try something out. And it just came together like 1, 2, 3. Like we recorded that maybe like an hour. And it was just like such a fun time. And then just to see the reaction that because originally I wasn't gonna put that song out. It was just like sitting in my phone. It kind of forgot about it. Then she hit me up. She was like, "Whatever happened to that one song we recorded?" I was like, "Oh, this is actually pretty hard. I guess we can put it out." And like people just loved it. So yeah, I would say that one.
You're telling me Sonia Rose didn't do any R&B type thing before, any soul, like none of that.
No, I know. It's crazy, right? She never did.
That's
It's like her
beyond me.
first time ever.
Wow. Because she fucking killed it.
That's what I'm saying. Like she sounded so like good and so natural on that track. She definitely needs to do some more stuff with like some R&B.
Right. No, I completely agree. I mean, if you ever plan on releasing any other albums, I am expecting you as a potential hire for this company to call fucking Sonia Rose and put her on the album. Put her on the album. I feel like that's an easy choice.
I'm gonna call her after this.
Do it.
I'm gonna call her right after this.
Hey.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, when are you coming? Well, is she in Arizona or is she in New York?
She's in New York. She lives in Brooklyn.
Perfect. I mean, that's perfect. You're moving out there again. And she'll be in radius. So get her in the studio right then and there.
Definitely more collabs. Definitely more collabs in the way. Even talks of an EP.
Oh.
As a CEO, I'm not supposed to be fangirling right now, but I'm quite excited for that EP. I'm quite excited. Well, would you consider the Balboa EP? Well, would you consider like those 2 songs to be an EP? Or are they just 2 songs?
It's just 2 songs, just like a 2-pack.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a bunch of songs that I've been working on in the fall, and I wrote those 2 songs. So I wrote those 2 songs after like a pretty long period of writer's block, and that's why it took me a while to like write that verse for Uncomfortable. Because I just had like bad writer's block. So I decided to like take a step back and just like live life, you know, kind of let it come to me. So then when I found the beats for Bye Bye and Balboa, and I decided to like get back into the music, I was like, okay, how am I feeling? Like what's been going on in life? You know, now that I've taken a step back from music, and it just clicked. Because like if you listen to both of those songs, they're both kind of about like overcoming obstacles and just like being a better person, because you know, like you learn and you grow from your past. You don't let your past define your future. You know, it's just like, you know, being your best self and like building a better life for yourself. And that's just how I felt. Like in that moment when I was writing the songs, I just felt like I could overcome any obstacle. I had like a new sense of like confidence, a new sense of like motivation and everything. And that's why I was like, you know what? I'm not letting these sit. I'm gonna just put them out. So I put them out both at the same time, because I felt like the streets needed it.
Right. And
the world needed
I think it's great to hear that literally like all proficient to legendary artists have writer's block as well. And I mean, it's just like, it's just a thing that it's natural. I mean, you see artists start off at first and they just have bars for days. Like I know I did. Me and my brother, we would like freestyle just to fucking do it. And like we had a blast doing it. And like words would just come out of our mouth and it was easy. So when I like first started songwriting, I was like, oh yeah, this shit's easy. And I started typing. But like now it's just like, damn, I already said everything. I don't know what else there is to say. I actually did write a verse today. Do you want to hear some of the scripture from it?
Let's go. Let's hear it.
All right. I said, Toyota, bitch, I am on the way. Fast on the freeway. In a car, we're hot on the B-way. Beeline coast, bitch, we're hot. Rolling down the windows, god damn, it's hot. It's chilly, bitch, no, it's not. I'm drinking all of the bev I got. And then I said, we do this all day, bitch, we're the masters. I can't wait to put my feet in the gravel. Like, call the taxi, we can't go any faster. And call up Maxi the way we travel. What do you think? Do you think I overcame my writer's block?
Dude, you definitely did. The fact that you were able to finish a verse, that is amazing.
It took me 3 days.
You still did it though.
Hey, it took me a while. But like what I meant to say, like, is like artists start off and they just write, and they can write like 20 just songs like off the top of their head, and it's easy. But then it's like inevitable. You will hit the writer's block.
I have so much respect for artists that could just like pour out music like it's nothing, make like 10 songs in a day. Could never be me. And it's because I'm very hard on myself.
Right.
Like when it comes to writing music and making music, like I like to make sure I need every line to mean something. Like I don't want to just like put a bullshit line in there just to finish the song, you know? Yeah. So like a lot of times when I'm writing in the studio, you'll see me, like you'll probably hate working in the studio with me because like I'll be pacing back and forth, throwing ideas around, like writing and rewriting things. I'm like, oh, nah, this is whack. Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna keep this. Like it's definitely a long process for me to write a song, but I feel like it's worth it in the end, you know? Right. Take your time with it. Make sure it's the best that it can be.
I actually have a critique on those bars.
Oh God!
That you just gave us.
What did I do?
Is the beeline on the coast? Because that's an Arizona highway.
Hold on.
Did I hear that right? Or
beeline could be like one of two things. Because I know when I used to live in LA, the beeline was the bus.
Oh,
but
that's right.
I was talking about my road trip to Nebraska. And that we did not go through LA for that. So wait, what did I say? Oh, I said beeline coast, bitch, we're hot. Like we're coasting on the beeline highway.
Oh, like you're making a beeline for it.
Yeah. No.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the beeline highway in Arizona.
That's what I was talking about. Like we are on the beeline and we're coasting on the beeline. See, this is the problem in the end. It's like, damn, I wrote some heat. And then Dean says, "Isn't the beeline?" And you're like, "Oh shit."
Sorry, I'm just reading into it too much.
No, I mean,
Nah, that
You're right.
those are bars. Those are bars.
Fuck.
They're bars. They're bars.
Yeah, but writer's block is definitely like a hard thing to overcome. But Tireek, I have to ask you, what was the fastest song you've ever made?
Whoa. Okay.
Ooh.
Fastest song I've ever written. Maybe Hustler's Freestyle.
Oh, with Zahir.
Yeah, in recent memory, I would say Hustler's Freestyle. That came in about like 30 minutes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Like
I
production
listened
and
to that
everything.
today.
Huh? What'd you say?
Wait, who?
I thought Dean said something.
Yeah.
Oh no, I just said
what did
I
you
just
say?
said I listened to it today.
Oh,
It's phenomenal song. Great song.
thank you, thank you. No, yeah, I got the beat and I wrote my verse the same day in about 30 minutes. And then Zaire originally wasn't gonna be on the song, but I sent. So it was funny. We were hanging out. Yeah, we were just hanging out one day randomly, and I played because I was still working on '90s Baby at the time.
Right.
So I played the track for him, and I think he started like freestyling. He's like, and like I was like, "Yo, why don't you do that? Like, why don't you actually do that on the song?"
Yeah,
And
add
then
that in.
yeah, he laid his verse down, and the rest is history.
That also was a very like existential Tireek moment for me because I listened to that song Hustler's Freestyle and I was like, what the fuck is this at the end? I mean, it's like some like squeaky voice. I was like, oh, that's a cool sample. And then my second question was, well, where's Zahir on this song? And then I like saw you like Hustler's Freestyle came on at the show and I was like, oh, now I know what the fuck is like. All of my answers are gonna be questioned. Like, sorry, all my questions are gonna be answered. I'm ready. And then I saw Zahir do that on stage, and I was like, oh, well, this makes perfect sense. So that was him at the end, and I was like, damn. So his voice just does that. I love his range. His like he can go like deep voice, and he can go like high pitched voice. So I have to ask you, what do you think?
He has an amazing.
What do you think of his music?
His music is amazing. Like, honestly, beautiful from a production standpoint, a songwriting standpoint, vocal performance standpoint. I love everything that I've heard from him.
Right.
He has like a lot of music that he hasn't released yet. He's like me. He's kind of a perfectionist.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to his music, and he overthinks it for sure. So it'll probably be a while before he drops any new music, but he's definitely a super talented artist. And yeah, he reminds me a lot of Frank Ocean.
Oh, easily. Dean, have you listened to Niza Here's before?
I have not actually.
I'll put you on after this interview.
Okay.
It's like a completely different just thing. Like first of all, it's music that I haven't heard before. His producer also that was on stage, I forget his name, the guy with the mustache. Jacob. He also like, dude, that guy is fucking nuts. I mean, if he's the one that was making the beats, I couldn't tell what was happening at first. I was like, okay, is Niza here like a Death Grips guy? Or is he like a Brett Fayez guy? And come to find out, it's actually none of that. And like, I appreciate that like all of his like melodies aren't actually melodies. It's all just like ambiance. Or at least from what he's released and what he performed. Wow. You know, it's like me and Harrison, we were sitting there, we were like, dude, this shit's nuts. And then that last song came on, Breathe With Me. Holy shit.
I knew you were like
we went crazy. Oh, you know how I feel about that dance music. But Dean, I have to put you on at least that song, Breathe With Me. I have to put you on that song because it just like so good. It's so good. You know? What's your like, how do you know him?
How do I know him?
Yeah.
How do we meet?
Like, how did you guys meet? Like, what was like the relationship, you know?
So I met him on a film shoot, actually. I was helping out on a music video shoot, just like as an extra. And he was also there as an extra. And we were like the only two Black people on the set. so naturally, we struck up a little conversation, which developed into a friendship and everything. And he's just a super cool guy, very kind soul. And yeah, I'm happy to have him as a friend. You know.
I just realized my fucking microphone was muted. Damn, yeah, no, but I talked to him after, and one of the coolest fucking guys I've ever met. Let's be honest, like he knows how to talk. He's very cool. Like I met no slander over here, but I went to the Lucky concert at Nile, and I was like, all right, yeah, that show was great. We left, and Lucky walked by us, and I was like, oh damn. And I was like, hey Lucky. Hi. I was like, yep. All right. Have a nice day. And then I took that legendary video, that selfie camera of me and Lucky. I'll put that on the edit. I'll drop that video on the edit. But hey, it's me and Lucky. That's crazy,
bro. I need the key.
Yeah, I mean, Zahir, he knows how to talk, and like it's just nice. It's like you can like he's just cool, like down to earth guy, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Very genuine, like you said, very down to earth. Just a very cool human being. Cool person to know.
And really good Frank Ocean impersonator. I mean, you can't tell the difference between the two.
We actually have a song coming out together soon.
Hold on. Dean, did you hear that? A
What did I
song
hear?
with Zahir and Tireek. What's like the bump factor on that song? Like, what's like the vibe of the song?
The vibe of the song would definitely be like late night drive. Late night drive with some friends. You got the music playing, and like you know, like those coming of age movies.
Yeah.
Where like the character, you know, you got those like little independent coming of age films, and they have like those super amazing soundtrack. It would probably be a soundtrack in one of those movies.
Damn.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever made.
Oh, thank God.
Dang.
But yeah.
So another question, Tireek. I want to know about Crookland. I want to know about Lonely Leonard. What are your thoughts on him? I want to know the thought process, the creation process of all of that. You just gotta give it all to me. I gotta
spew it out.
Oof.
All of it. Social security number and everything. Oh, I mean, like, no, not like that. Remember.
Dude, this is taking me back because I think we started work on Crookland in like late 2018, actually, and then come out till like 2020.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a long process because of like COVID and everything. We had stopped work on it for a little while. And me and Leonard, we were just in separate places, like physically. But that came because so when the idea for Crookland came along, I wanted to make an album that would be like timeless. But I wanted to make like a certified like hit rap record because I feel like the music that we made up until that point, we were all in a rap group together, and it was kind of like more pop kind of rap music. So I wanted to make like an old school, like hard hitting, just straight bars type of classic hip hop album. Right. So like for inspiration, I was listening to Outkast, I was listening to Fugees, Tribe Called Quest, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, just like all the classic albums, just trying to like get inspiration for that album. And it just, I don't know, it was just such a vibe when it came together because we put together such an amazing team. Like me and Leonard, my guy Ani, who produced like half the album, engineered it all. My guy Nate Firestone, Bondi, we got Maria, like so many cool features and everything. It was just like a real community/family effort. Like all of us just vibing to create the best project possible. And I love that album just because it's all so real and it's also raw. Like a lot of the album, if it's not like a firsthand personal experience, it's from the experience of somebody that like we know or knew like well. So like when you look like look at a song like Brenda.
Mhm.
That song came about because I had a friend of mine who felt like she was always, being taken advantage of by the men in her life. She never experienced true love. She knew that like a lot of the guys that she dealt with only wanted one thing. So that song's like written from her perspective. Then you have a song about you have songs like Black Boys Don't Cry. Black Boys Don't Cry is one of my favorite songs off the album because that song deals with just like how growing up in the Black community, especially as a Black male, or just being male in general, we're often told like, oh, you can't show emotion, you can't cry, that's weak, that's
Right.
very feminine. And bottling up those emotions, it becomes overwhelming at times, to the point where you feel like you're just gonna burst, you're gonna explode.
Right.
So the song kind of tackles that, like being told all your life that you can't show emotions, you can't be weak, you can't cry, when really like you feel like going insane on the inside. And my main thing with the album was very like therapeutic in a way because it helped me deal with a lot of like personal issues and traumas that I was dealing with growing up. And like my main hope for it was hopefully people would also be able to get something from it, learn something from it, be able to help people heal and everything. Cause like each song has its own message, each song has its own lesson. And I'm just so glad that we were able to, bring that together, Leonard, he's an amazing artist and he brought his A game. Like I said, it's just straight bars. It's just straight facts.
Yeah, he has a great voice for it. I mean, like for like the hard rap stuff, he has like that voice. Like it's really good. Dean, I'm glad you brought up Crookland because one of like the questions that I had like before this interview started, I was like, damn, like I'm looking at some of these features. Like I can look at the 100, I mean not the 100, the 90s baby features. I'm like, oh yeah, like I like recognize these names, but I listened to Spend It from Crookland. And I like this was after I saw you live for the first time. And it was on my playlist for a week. I like that song, but Magu and Samara Sin, tell me about them.
So dang. You're really taking me back. This is dope. So Magu, she's another beautiful human being, super talented. Her name's actually Maria, and I met her during my time at ASU. We met freshman year at ASU.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and we just naturally developed. We had like our own little friend group and everything, and she was in that friend group. And she's just an amazing human being, super sweet, super kind, would never hurt a fly. And like, she's really like a sister to me. I love her dearly. So it was definitely an honor to have her like come in and record on the song because she's like, she doesn't really do music. Like she wants to, and she's like just getting started with it, like recording her own like solo music. But at that point she like had an amazing voice, but she wasn't really doing anything with music. I was like, yo, you need to be like on this album some way, somehow. So we brought her in and like she just killed it. And then Samara San, like there's really not much I can say that hasn't already been said. She has like straight bars, like amazing voice, her charisma, her presence on the track.
Right.
Like you can hear it. It just like really comes through. And she's another person that I met my freshman year. It's funny, I met her my freshman year at ASU when me, Rosal Toddy, and all of us were still in a rap group. And we were going around campus, like showing people our music. We were like asking random people walking around campus, like, hey, we just recorded this song, listen to the song, let us know what you think. And it was before she even started making music. So then like a couple of years later, she started rapping. She was like super dope. And she kind of had like that old school, like late 90s, early 2000s flavor that we were really looking for the, because if you listen to the whole album, it kind of has that feel like that 90s era hip hop. Like that's me, that's my style, my kind of like aesthetic and brand. So she just fell right in line with that. And yeah, it came together perfectly. We were all just in the studio vibing and yeah.
Right. I really like, I strongly related to it. Okay, I'm gonna do like a little when worlds collide type thing. But
okay.
We interviewed Woozy. That was our first interview. And he has an album called Toucans Fly in a Zoo. And one of the last songs on that album is a song called Caraco Freestyle. And it's with him, a guy named Early Morning, and then another girl named Jay Henny. And
Okay.
Jay Henny and Samara Sin, like they both have that. Dean, how do you explain it? Like they both have like the like, what's it called? Like that hard hitting female voice on a song.
Yeah, very,
Like,
very like assertive, like female voice.
right. Exactly. And like that was the first connection I made. I was like, damn. I was like, wait, this is like these two artists, they kind of like share similar values when it comes to that. And I would suggest listening to that song for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Send it to me.
I'll send
Send
it
me
to
the.
you. Oh,
I'll
of
check.
course. Dean, did you have any personal favorites off Crookland?
Hold on.
Oh,
That was my favorite.
Hold On. I love Hold On. Yeah, that was a great track. No, I love Leonard's verse on that track. When he just comes in so smooth. I'll be whipping up a recipe, never been a crazy. And then the little break before my verse comes on, like that whole thing was a vibe. If you listen to the album, it's definitely heavily inspired by like Outkast and Andre 3000.
right.
Like,
And that's what I was gonna say. I can like honestly the whole album really, like I can really see like a lot of the inspiration from Outkast and Andre 3000. Yeah.
Exactly.
absolutely, especially Black Boys Don't Cry, like my verse on that song. Yeah, heavily inspired by Andre 3000. Just the way that he's able to like put words together and his like vocal delivery and everything. Yeah, he's definitely played a big role in my artistry.
We know famous artists Kanye West and Kid Cudi. They both released an album together called Kids See Ghosts. And coincidentally, 3 years later, you have a song on this album called Kids See Ghosts. Could there be a possible chance? Could there be a possible chance that there was some inspiration from that album for that song? Or just like, you know.
So that was all Leonard, honestly. So I can't speak for him. He just so when we heard that beat, it was like very hard hitting, and it's like this could be a banger. And honestly, he freestyled a lot of it. Like he just went on there and he's like, "Baby, don't you see it go na 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 na?" And I was like, "Nah, this shit is hard," and we just went with it.
Nice.
So I don't know where he got the idea. It just came to him from the ether or wherever it came from, but that shit was hard.
Very good. Now it looks like, I mean, I'm looking at Dean in his eyes, and he's looking at me in the eyes, and we're both telling each other the exact same thing right now. And that thing is Mr. Tireek. I always say Mr. Tireek because I have such a high level of respect for this man. But Mr. Tireek knows his music like a motherfucker. Like he knows his own music. He knows the background. He knows how all of the shit flows. You know, he knows like the words. Yeah, like it's his work, and no one knows their work better than the artist. And so I think it's right to ask the artist to play a game with me and Dean. And we're gonna play this game that we've been playing with everyone that we've been interviewing.
Shit.
It doesn't have a name yet, but I think we're gonna come around to call it like the car game or something. The way it works is Dean's gonna start, and he's gonna name a car, and you're gonna tell us what you think the best song of yours is to play in that car. All right.
Okay.
It's a pretty easy game.
Really, really easy game. Simple game.
Okay.
Dean, start us off.
All right. So to start us off, we have the first car is going to be a Honda Odyssey minivan.
Ooh.
What song are we playing in the minivan? I got to know.
What song are we playing in the minivan? So when I think of minivans, I think of like little soccer moms or something like. Maybe Fantasy.
Ooh.
I feel like that could be like little minivan vibes. Yeah, I'll go with
Fantasy. Good pick.
Any
Tireek.
particular reason why, or just feeling the vibe?
I feel like that's like a fun kind of like family vibe, like anybody could listen to and jam to in a minivan.
Family friendly. I like
Family
it. I like it.
Family friendly. Tireek,
Yeah.
a BMW i8.
Ooh, Bmw I8. When I think of that, I'm thinking like, style, speed. I'm gonna go with 2 for 20 with Rosso Toddy.
Ooh. Right. It has like that kind of like modern, like type of like new age sound to it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like you're fucking cool, you know.
Come flying down the block, blasting that. Yeah.
Too easy.
Mhm.
Dean?
So my next one was gonna be what is it? Oh, a Lincoln Town Car stretch, like a limousine.
Ooh.
What would
Ooh.
you play in a limousine?
What are we
Easy.
playing in the limo?
Spend it all the
Spend
way.
it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good
That's
choice.
a great pick.
Yeah.
What about what about those fucking those lowriders with like the hydraulics and everything? You're like fucking bouncing that shit. You are in LA just bouncing the fuck out of a lowrider. What are you playing?
Maybe Balboa.
Yep.
Balboa might be the lowrider vibe.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking. And now I feel like I need to switch up the rules of the game a little bit and ask you, what kind of car are you playing Let It Go in?
What kind of car am I playing Let It Go in? Playing it in a bus, like a party
That's
bus.
what I was gonna say. Either party bus or like the Volkswagen old buses.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
That's the only. Well, I imagine the party bus, like lights going crazy. There's like some fog. Everybody's just like dancing, going wild. Yeah.
Woozy actually told us that he made a song. I mean, it was very out of his like range, but he has a song called Bounce. I think it's a Bounce or Bounce That or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
like
But
bounce that, I think.
he made the song for a strip club.
Or what
Or
they
they
do is they
asked him.
actually like every like Friday night or every weekend they actually play his song in the strip club.
That's fire.
Which is I think it's like in his hometown or something like that in
El Paso.
In El Paso.
That's actually really fire.
So
Right?
is Let It Go coming on in the strip club?
I don't think it's a strip club vibe. You know what might be a strip club vibe, low key? Either Hustlers Freestyle, I can hear that in the strip club.
Oh,
or Bye Bye.
Bye Bye.
I can see it.
Too easy. All easy picks. Yeah, Tireek, I mean, like, to everyone watching, you could tell this man's just versatile. I mean, there's a huge versatility to his music. And
can't put it in the box.
Can't put it, there's no, it's genreless, if you will.
Genreless, absolutely.
Genreless. Okay. I have a question about the production. Yeah, I'm a producer. I'm not a good producer, but I'm a producer. And okay, fine, I'll stop it. I'm a pretty decent producer. I'll give myself that. But damn, do you produce your own beats? For the people watching that are curious, do you produce your own beats or do you have a producer?
Not yet. I've been learning. I'm not great at it. I'm still like in the very beginning stages. But no, I am fortunate enough to have like very good friends and connections with some dope producers. So I'm fortunate enough to work with some good producers that help me sound good.
Right. I bet I haven't looked into it too much, but Rosso Toddy, class action producer, this guy. Huge, just great producer. And, like, he even produces on stage, like at the Juneteenth show, the Punk After Dark show. That guy was producing as one of his songs. Like, he made the beat on fucking stage.
It's insane.
Did he make any music for you? Any beats for you?
Yeah, he has, actually. So it's funny because it hasn't materialized yet, but he wants to produce a project for me. So that's probably in the cards, sometime in the near future. But we've definitely we have a lot of tracks together that he has produced that
Ooh.
might see the light of day very soon. Hint, hint.
Oh, again, my hair is tingling. Fuck's sake. I'm ready. I'm ready for some new Tireek music. After Bye Bye Balboa, Bye Bye. Damn. It's like
The people are hungry.
it's like you're about to punch me in the face, but your fist is like right here. I'm like, all right, like just fucking get it over with. Like the people are indeed hungry, like Dean said.
I love that. He's like, my fist is right there.
It's like just fucking
I'm not
punch
gonna
me.
connect yet.
It's like, why haven't you done it already? Like, have you seen that video, Dean? Fucking drop the album. Just drop the album. Drop it. Just
Drop the album. Just drop the album.
They're like trying to like grab the guy.
Was that about Kanye?
I don't
No.
know. No, that was like they were physically like in front of his face. And they were
Okay,
like,
then it definitely wasn't him then.
damn.
Who's the artist that you feel just needs to drop the album?
Frank Ocean, easy. That
Yeah.
I'm like I'm publicly I'll say it. I'm a Frank Ocean dick rider. Fuck's sake.
Hey,
Frank
I
Ocean is
say that as well. Yes.
that guy is just he does things and you like it. You can't not like Frank Ocean's music.
That's what I'm saying. That his music just hits different, man.
I'm working on a project right now where it's like it's not Frank Ocean necessarily, but it's more so just like kind of like house-ish and like good vibe things. But all of the songs are named after my friends that I was on like this road trip with. The album's gonna be called Nebraska Confidential, and each one of my friends, like I had them be like, okay, like what kind of vibe do you want for the song that your name is on? And like, if you want it to be like a happy or a sad song, And the only person I didn't ask that question is my dear friend Rebecca, and this is completely just out of spite. I've heard her say, Frank Ocean is okay. What does that even mean? What do you mean Frank Ocean is okay, bro? So I'm making her song like a Frank Ocean song.
And you still talk to her after that Frank Ocean slander?
That's the only thing that bothers me about her. She's a great person.
That was strike number one.
I'll strike one out of like I'll give her like 10. I'll give her. She's really cool. But what about you? What's the artist for you? Also, I know SZA just dropped the deluxe, but SZA.
Oof, SZA's amazing.
I need a full-length album from SZA or Rihanna.
Yeah, I mean, technically, it's been 5 years as well.
Exactly.
She definitely needs to stop playing.
So what's that album for you? Besides the SZA, besides like Rihanna, are there any other artists?
Artists that need to drop an album. This is a good question. I feel like all my favorites have dropped already. But I would probably say maybe Smino. Smino hasn't dropped in a while.
Didn't Smino just drop the thing album? Oh, that was Sada. Oh, Sada. Never mind. Yeah. Sada just dropped his album.
That was a great project, by the way.
That was a very good project. Oh, I was shocked.
Personally, you guys may or may not agree with me on this, but I want A$AP Rocky to drop another album.
Oh, bro, it's about time we see another.
I'm an A$AP Rocky dick rider, so I mean, I had to say it.
We're just riding dicks over here.
Left and right.
Did you like Testing?
That's my favorite album.
Testing
by him.
Really?
Yeah. That's it. I'm just like on like sorry, again, on a producer standpoint, Testing is just such like a well-made album, and I love the history behind that album too.
And I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say from a production standpoint, Testing. But I think like nostalgia-wise, like at long last A$AP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
easily. Like the thing with like testing for me is, well, what's that one song? Praise the Lord.
Ooh,
Is it?
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah. Praise the Lord. Yeah, they just got a fucking like Logic Pro sample or like some
Really?
like really like very basic sample and just dropped it on the thing, added some drums onto it, and called it a song. And it's literally just like one of like the greatest experimental rap songs.
Dude, that song when it came out had such a hold on me. It was the only thing I was listening to.
Oh,
That instrumental is one of my favorite instrumentals of all time.
the song I think is slept on the most is Distorted Records.
Mm.
The first song on that album. Oh my god, that shit has me like running on the walls. Bow wow 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 wow.
So
Crazy song.
do you guys feel like people were being too harsh on testing when it came out then?
I was being harsh on testing when it came out. I didn't like at first I was like, this isn't ASAP Rocky. I mean, this isn't like his previous albums or anything. And I was confused, but then I listened to it more and it grew on me. I feel like that's a common trend with
Mm.
artists like doing new things. Like you're used to their old work and it just like, like, oh, I hate this. Like Playboy Cardi, fuck's sake, Whole Lot of Red. I hated that album at first, and I love Playboy Cardi. But then it grew on to me and my brother. Like, I don't know if you guys have experienced this personally, but like, you're listening to an album. The way me and my brother do it is we get in the car and we like blare it in the car, and we're listening, and we're just, damn, this shit's ass. This is like, this shit's terrible. But then my brother will be like, hold on, let's listen to Stop Breathing again. Like a month later, he'll be like, let's listen to Stop Breathing again. And we're like, oh wait, this shit's kind of hard. And that happened with all the songs on that album. It's like the same thing with Testing. It's the same thing with Honestly Nevermind by Drake. That album's phenomenal.
You like Honestly Nevermind?
I love that album.
I will admit I've only given it one listen, and upon my first listen, I did not like it at all. I thought
Yeah,
it was definitely ass.
fair.
So maybe I should go back and give it another listen. It's been about a week or so now since I listened to it, so maybe it might grow on me a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, some of the songs still don't click. I mean, some of the songs are like objectively, like they're not like something that I could just be like, oh, like this shit's hard. But there are songs like Calling My Name. I don't know if you guys remember that song specifically, but I played it in the car with Dean like 7 times the other day. I was like,
is that the
your pussy
it's that
is
Yo.
calling my name.
That shit has been stuck in my head.
That's what I'm saying.
Drake?
It's so hard.
Drake is really, and I tweeted this too. Drake is a menace for
No,
dropping
for real.
and making that song, because literally I'll just be going about my day. I'll be at work or at the gym or whatever, and all of a sudden I'm your pussy,
Right.
like out of nowhere.
It's like, oh god,
Yeah.
what's happening to me?
No, I think stylistically it's just so different from like what Drake has produced in the past. So I think like a lot of people just like aren't used to that with the whole like, house music style thing. I think it's like I feel like that's a big reason why a lot of people don't like it. But
Right.
again, like with any of like these great albums that we've mentioned before, it might grow on you.
And
You
I
never know.
have something to say about that. And which is actually going to segue into a question for Tireek. Drake, like Tireek said, this guy's a mastermind. This guy's he knows what he's doing. But have we seen this conspiracy about how Honestly Nevermind came out exactly 9 months after Certified Lover Boy? Some
I
Easter
did
egg
see it.
bullshit.
I did see that, because he had all the pregnant women on Certified Lover Boy, and then 9 months. Yeah,
And
that's actually a really good theory.
it's like, Certified Lover Boy, like the way I thought of it when I first said that, I was like, damn, did that album give birth to this one? So Tireek, do you have any Easter eggs in your songs that no one knows about? Or in your albums or any of your work?
Easter eggs.
We got to start developing the Tireek theories.
The Tireek, yeah, the iceberg.
The iceberg goes
Uh,
deep.
I honestly can't say that I do at the moment. I don't know. I mean, so like if you listen to 90s Baby, I don't know if this is really an Easter egg, but the skit with my mom, that's my actual mom
Right.
on the album. And she knocked that out in like one take. I was like, Mom, I'm making this project. I need you to do a skit, like just pretend like you're mad at me, da 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 da. And she just did that to me one take. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Great.
We have a trained professional over
She
here.
was ready.
She,
Yeah.
she knew what to do.
She's had a lot of experience being mad at me. So
If I ask my mom is like the nicest person in the world. I mean, oh wow, speaking of the devil, my dad's calling me right now. I'll call him back. But my mom, nicest person in the world. Like Dean, you've met my mom.
Oh yeah.
And she's just very relaxed, chill, happy. But if I ever was like, Mom, can you yell at me? Holy fuck. Like I'd like, even if I knew it was like an act, I'd shit myself.
Wow. I mean, I think that's how most moms are, though.
They're all great, but when you're growing up, especially with like ethnic parents, woo, they have a way with their words. They know how to fuck you up.
Like they tap into a hidden well of
Yeah,
anger.
exactly. It's crazy. But again, no hate whatsoever. No slander on my parents' name whatsoever. The greatest people. You know, I'm sure Tireek and Dean could relate to that.
Yeah, mine with my Caucasian mom. She's like, Dean, give me your Nintendo DS. You get 5 minutes without your DS.
No.
I'm like, no, please, no.
Mom, stop it. Mom, give me back my DS. Yeah. But I mean, like on like Easter eggs and stuff, I feel like when my music, I like develop solely off of Easter eggs. I feel like
Really?
I love incorporating that shit into albums. I mean, I see people like Lil Uzi Vert, in my opinion, is like the best at doing it. He has shit left and right just in his albums about like, oh, like if you listen to this song, it's like he says this thing and like it could mean this and this and this. But yeah, I love doing that shit. And the best way to find them is to listen. For the people watching this, I hate to promote myself, but take a listen. Take a listen. But yeah, I mean that the Easter egg about your mom, that's definitely an Easter egg. I'd say that's an Easter egg. You know,
I don't know. I never thought about it before. I would have to really think about it and get back to you guys.
you should
Would
make
that be
like
something? Oh, sorry, I don't
No,
want to
Dean,
cut
you're
you
good.
off,
You're
but
good, you're good.
I was gonna ask, would that be something like you would incorporate more like in the future, maybe? You know, just kind of like really develop it, or like just go deep into that whole like iceberg, you know, on like an album or an EP or whatever.
Absolutely. I think more so for my first like major project. I've been thinking about that for a long time. Just like what it would be about. Like I don't know. When it comes time to make my first like really big major album, it's gonna be an experience for sure. It's gonna play out like a movie, definitely.
Ooh.
Yeah. I love albums like that. They're like very cinematic and they kind of tell a story. They have like a overall theme to them. Like Tyler, like Kendrick Lamar, but Tyler's really good at doing that. Like creating themes and like stories with his albums and like creating whole worlds. Like he's very good at world building when it
I
comes
think
to his.
exactly. Like I think me and Dean have the same answer to this question, but I'm not sure. But Tireek, what would you say is your favorite storytelling album?
Storytelling novel.
Album.
Oh, storytelling album. You guys are asking the tough questions.
We told you.
But it's good though. It's good though.
It's what we do.
I would say either like Good Kid, Mad City,
Ooh.
or Flower Boy. No, I'm gonna go Good Kid, Mad City. Has to be.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That album is, first of all, perfect. I can't think of a single thing wrong with that album.
Because there isn't anything wrong with that album.
Exactly. It's like you really have to like dig to find some like hot shit about that album, and you can't even do it. You can't. Everything's placed perfectly. It just
That album is
everything's right
definitely
about it.
that album is definitely the standard for me, at least. Just
Oh.
like the storytelling and like sequencing, like the way it plays out, it really is like a movie. It tells the story of like Kendrick's upbringing to like who he became at that point. Like, and like, but I think one of the best storytelling songs comes off of that album with what's the name of it? Sing About Me.
Sing About Me.
Amazing storytelling.
Amazing. That's a great song. Dean, what would you say yours is?
In terms of storytelling,
I feel like
I
I know
mean,
your answer.
obviously,
I feel like I know it.
I want to hear what you think my answer is going to be, because I would have said Good Kid, Mad City. That's a great choice.
It's a great choice. Dean, I hate to expose you to the internet, but I know you've had a lot of experience with Igor by Tyler, the Creator.
Yep, I do. I listen to that album so much. Is
That's my
favorite?
personal pick.
I don't know. It probably still is, but storytelling, like that one just goes crazy because it's just about like just pure heartbreak, and like, you know, like all the stages of like heartbreak, obviously, as it pertains to Tyler, and et cetera, et cetera. I could go on about that, but yeah, that honestly that would be like my second choice.
It's a good pick. Absolutely.
Oh, easily. Yeah, I just like when people release albums that have like a full-blown structure to them. Okay, it's not a bad thing if you don't have like a full-blown like structure in your albums, right? Yeet, for example. Yeet is my favorite rapper right now. I don't know what it is, but that
You're gonna say that right in front of Tireek?
He just has, I mean, like,
yeah, man.
Come on. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm not saying yeah, Tireek. Ugh. Compared to Yeet. No, but like Yeet is definitely the person that I've been like listening to like hella lately. And let me just say, there isn't a single story that man tells, like whatsoever. I mean, there's that last album. What was it called? Whatever is Up to Me. No, whatever. Nothing. You know, like they're all just like banger songs, but like there's no like flow to it. So it's kind of hard to like keep up and like follow
Are you talking
along with
about
like what's going on.
Two Alive?
Two Alive.
You know, I never understood the Yeet hype. Like when he first like really started blowing up, I was like, why do people like this dude so much? But now I kind of understand it's not something you can really explain. Yeet is really just a feeling.
Yeah.
Like he's just a vibe, you know.
There's always like a mood to put his music on. Even like when you're sad. Like I found myself like sad 2 days ago, and I was listening to Lying for Fun by him, and I was like, oh my god, this shit hits. You know, like, I mean, I don't know what it is, but he just has like energy that you like. He has like an energy for everything, I feel like.
He really does. Definitely.
Yeah. Out of like the whole, first of all, I'd like to ask you, like, out of the whole like current age of like like not trap music, but like the like how would you, so like Yeet, Ken Carson, all of like the rappers like that, do you like listen to that kind of music ever, or do you have any like personal favorites from that like this like new age
like rage artists?
That rage music.
To be honest, I don't listen to it too much. So if you have any suggestions, definitely you know, I'm open to listen to hearing some. But Yeah, no, I haven't really tapped into that. So,
Right.
but I have a very open mind, and I'm always looking for new music. So if you have any suggestions, definitely send them my way because who knows, I might really like it.
That's good. We might see some
Oh,
Yeet influence on Tyreek's newest EP after I send him a couple suggestions. I'm
who
kidding.
knows? Right?
Hey.
I need my drugs.
Dean, do you have any final remarks or questions that you want to ask before we
I
start
do
the
have
hiring
I do
process?
have one very important final question for you, Tireek.
Let's get it.
Would you rather have
Oh God.
a son who uses an Android phone, or would you rather have a daughter who's a horse girl?
Dean asking all the right questions. Jesus Christ.
We discussed this question, I think, for about 10 minutes before the interview started, so I feel like it was very important to address.
I would rather have a son uses an Android phone. I don't think I can handle a daughter who's a horse girl.
You can do horse betting though. You can bet on your daughter's horse. Turn $5 into $3 million.
Okay. What about y'all?
Yeah.
It's a tough. It's tough, but I think it's gonna have to be the horse girl daughter.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
No,
because
I would do the Android son. Come on.
like, let's put it this way, right? Like your Android son. Like, I mean, let's assume that these are the only two personality traits about these motherfuckers. Like,
yeah, that's it.
right?
That's very
like,
important to clarify. Is that's their only personality trait? Is that the son only uses an Android phone and talks about how Android is the best, or we have a horse girl daughter, and we
who
already know that
insists on like
stereotype.
making her like who insists on like you have to take her to the track like after school every day, and it's still gonna
Yep.
have to be the daughter because like look, at least my daughter is going outside and like being healthy, and like because I don't know if you guys have seen how like athletic horse riders are, but they look like some of the healthiest people in my opinion. So like I'm not gonna have my son fucking like, oh Android this, and like stay inside all day and just be like sick. But then like my daughter's actually like going outside and like doing like like riding horses and shit. First of all, I think riding horses is cool as fuck, right?
Have you ever ridden a horse?
One time. But
How
like
was that?
it was kind of like a camel experience, like when they put you on the camel and they like hold the leash on the camel. It was like one of those, and they made me go like really slow, and I was like 8, so I'd be down to do it again. But I want to go like full speed on the fucking horse.
Good take.
Teach them.
Tireek, have you ever ridden a horse?
Tireek,
Not in a very long time. I don't mind horses though. I like them.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
something
Still.
tells me that question kind of like hit home for Tireek.
No, I'm definitely taking an Android son.
Oh, that's hilarious. Dean with the banger questions out of nowhere. Well, we're gonna wrap this up over here. Tireek, Dean, I feel like you've been
Yeah.
vice president for long enough over here. Do you wanna start with the hiring process?
Well, to make a long hiring process short, Tireek, you're hired.
Bang!
It's that easy.
Oh, he's crying. Oh, he's so
Oh.
happy. You can't believe
Thank
it.
you, man.
Don't you
Thank you,
dare
man.
ask about how much we're gonna pay you though.
Yeah,
don't even
don't ask
care,
about
man.
pay.
I don't even care. I'm just happy to be a part of the culture. I really feel like my talents are going to be appreciated here. Thank you, man.
What position do you want to start with?
What positions are open?
Well, no. What position do you want to start? We have anything you can think of.
You said
I think he quit.
Did he leave? Did his phone die?
His phone might have died.
Tireek, that is a great answer.
Damn. Right when we thought
like-
we were gonna hire him. Damn.
I know, right? He left the
Oh,
interview. Damn it.
Well, I don't know.
And
if
he's
gonna-
like, He's like, you know what position I would choose? And he just like dips.
Like, damn, I thought personally that interview went very well. For
Oh, yeah.
fuck's sake. And he's just gonna quit? Damn.
I thought he was having a great time.
Fuck, dude.
He had to leave so soon. I mean,
Oh, wait, here he is. Look who came crawling back after quitting the job already.
My phone died, so I'm here on my laptop now.
Okay, that's what we thought. No worries, no worries.
No, you're good.
Yeah, sorry, my laptop camera doesn't work, but I'm here.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, so you said Toddy does marketing, right?
He's the head of
Accounting.
accounting.
Oh, can I be the head of marketing?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Damn.
Good.
We still haven't really assigned Woozy a position. You know, we just told Woozy like he's good for the job, and he mopped the floor, killed a cockroach, and now I think he's just gonna start like pyramid scheming our company, which I mean that's fine too.
That's fine. Yeah.
But hey,
Pyramid scheming.
I'm gonna end this off. Tireek, thank you very much for joining this interview today. We had a blast. We had a great time doing this interview. We really appreciate you coming out, and you know, me and Dean like take high value of your work. We take high value of your art, and we insist that you keep going with the music. You keep like just going down that route because you're honestly a great pick for it. To everyone watching, thank you for watching. For everyone not watching, you can't even hear what I'm saying. So thanks for watching this video. If you want to support our LLC, we want to turn it into a corporation, and that happens when we hit 1 million subscribers on this channel. So turn our LLC into a corporation, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and press the like button, and then like share it or like put it on your Instagram story. I don't fucking know. I don't really like do this, but
Put it on Facebook.
put it on Facebook, share it with your mom.
Yeah.
Maybe your mom takes interest in watching Job Hunt LLC interviews.
Definitely
But
share it with your mom.
Thanks for watching. And I'll end this